Tommy, you have to stop this. You'll destroy the Earth.
That's the point.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm Mr. Blast and today we are taking a look at the Super 7 Ultimates Lord Drakkon figure from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers line. We're going to go over his articulation, all of his designs, his accessories, and more. And we're going to find out if this guy is worth adding to your Super 7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers collection. Let's get into it. Okay, and here he is, guys. The evil Lord Drakkon, Tommy Oliver, with his two alternate head sculpts, a damaged Red Ranger helmet, a Saba, also damaged, the Dragon Dagger, and his Morpher. He does have a slew of hands that he comes with, including the fists that he comes with here, and I think these are, what, 4 other pairs of hands? So your typical Super 7 Ultimates, hands and, accessories that it comes with. There's a lot of stuff in this box, and honestly, I really like this guy. I know that he's kind of a divisive character amongst the Ranger community as far as I know. I even go as far to say that JDF at the time had said it wasn't his favorite character to bring into Power Rangers because, he was a good person. He didn't want to feel like he was hurting others, but for the sake of a story, they had to make it so that there was an alternate timeline where the Green Ranger did not side with the Power Rangers and he decided to stay with Rita and, just harness his evil energy from there. In fact, there's a quick bio on the back of the box here. There's the art, and it looks really good. You got the Power Rangers logo, Lord Drakkon here, the see-through window, the lightning bolts, all that cool stuff. And on the back here, you can see Tommy's evil face looking at that. It looks pretty cool. I like the way that looks. And on the back here, it says, in an alternate reality, Tommy Oliver, aka the Green Ranger, never joined the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers after his defeat. Instead, he fled into hiding and continued to serve the evil Rita Repulsa. After years of campaigning, Tommy led her forces in a final battle against Zordon and the remaining Power Rangers. Jason Lee Scott is defeated and his powers are taken by Tommy, ending the battle in an evil victory. After Earth had been conquered in Rita Repulsa's name, Tommy, learning all he could from the witch, killed her and vowed to continue her work. With all obstacles to his rule removed, he is now known as Lord Drakkon. Using the power coins from defeated Rangers, he leads a formidable army of Rangers sentries on a conquest across the Morphin Grid. That's a pretty, I would say, oversimplified way of saying exactly what happened. I read a little bit more about it via Wikipedia, just doing various searches on the internet and whatnot. And yeah, he's pretty evil. His worst enemy, though, is Tommy's spirit. That's basically what I got from it. Tommy, at his heart, he is a good person, but unfortunately, being led almost his entire life as an evil ranger of Rita Repulsa, he came up with this right here. So he's been in various forms of media, including Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and of course the comics and all that stuff. Never an official character in the show or anything like that, but he's still pretty awesome. I like the way he looks. He is, I think, personally better quality than, let's say, your typical Super 7 Ultimates Power Ranger figure. I reviewed the Pink Ranger a few months ago, actually, and she had some issues, I think it's just a body mold issue that Super 7 has. A lot of that seems to be rectified with this guy, though, and I think some of it has to do with the fact that these, I don't think, are painted. This is just casted in white plastic or vinyl or whatever they use. And my biggest gripe with a lot of these figures from Super 7 is anything that's painted is guaranteed to flake pieces of paint off in your hands. I actually have the Red Ranger over here to compare him to a little bit. One thing you're going to notice is right away is the body type. Tommy in the Lord Drakkon form definitely has the more muscular figure. He is based, I would say, on a more westernized Power Ranger if the actual person was in that suit. These guys are based more on the Sentai actors, which are way thinner, more slim, and they're just as flexible as this guy is. But unfortunately, he just fell over. Poor Tommy. I didn't mean to do that. We're gonna edit that really quick. But yeah, so returning to the Red Ranger, you can see he's got the flaky knees. I don't know if guys can see that. The paint has really, really flaked off on a lot of the joints. I'm not a huge fan of the knees that Super 7 has made on these figures. They look great when they're posed and they don't fall over. They look really awesome. So, but yeah, this is basically a really quick comparison to the two figures right here. They look good next to each other, don't get me wrong. My issue and my gripe with this guy is just the joints, and I think Super 7 has kind of fixed it with this one right here. So, you can move his arms pretty much only about this far up if you're putting him forward. They can go out, so you can get that somewhat T-pose. The shield kind of blocks any type of movement. Let's zoom in on the Morpher, which looks pretty good. You can kind of make that out as like just that dragon coin looking-esque on his belt buckle there. The paint is really clean on mine, I will say. I didn't really find many blemishes or anything like that. His helmet looks really awesome. Let's see if we can zoom in on that really fast. Yeah, he looks really good. I love that blend between the Green Ranger and, of course, the White Ranger. So, well, you know, basically the Green Ranger took over. White Ranger said, yeah, we're just going to power up and then take over the Morphin Grid, which is exactly what happened. So, I believe in the story, Tommy, as the Lord Drakkon, actually killed Lord Zed as well. So, there was just a huge power-up and a takeover, a hostile takeover of everything in the known universe. As far as I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys, I think he also took over timelines, too. He was able to figure out time travel. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I got from it when I was reading about it. He's got the really cool gold and green gauntlets here on his forearms. Of course, the gold bands, they look great, nice painted. Same thing over here on his boots. He stands up really well. He's nice and heavy. Other than me just knocking him over a second ago. But he looks great. I love the shield emblem on the front. It's kind of a mix between, I would say, the White Ranger, not the Gold Ranger, the White Ranger and the Green Ranger. And it looks really, really good. He's got also your typical Super 7 abdomen and torso. You get a little bit of dynamic movement here. The head can only turn. I mean, maybe you could turn all the way around. I wouldn't personally. You can look up quite a bit. You can look down like a lot, like they're straight down, which is really nice because, you know, if you want to put him in poses where he's like stomping the Rangers, then yeah, absolutely, you can have him looking down and, you know, just saying bow to me. So the knees, you get about close to 90 degrees on that. You can kick his leg back as well. Then, like I said, the knees are a lot better on this guy, and I think it's just due to his muscular legs and stuff like that. So that really helps quite a bit. So let's put him aside back here. Set him up in a nice little pose. Let's move on to the damaged Red Ranger helmet. And yeah, this basically signifies that he has destroyed Jason as the Red Ranger. This also will go on your Red Ranger figure if you have one. The helmets are slightly different. I believe, yeah, you can take a look at the jawline. It's a little bit different. There's a little more detail in the Lord Drakkon Red Ranger helmet. The visor's got what looks to be some damage on it. You can't really see that here. It looks fine, but on here, it gives it that destroyed look. So yeah, if you could assume that he did something where he destroyed part of Jason's helmet and it went straight through his head and it took him out. So of course, all this up here, maybe it looks like a bite mark. It kind of does look like a bite mark. I don't know. Maybe his Dragon Zord did it. Who knows? I've never read the comics. I don't know how violent of an end they came to, but he took them all out, and that's crazy. I mean, Tommy as the Green Ranger pretty much bodied all the 5 original Rangers as it is, but then when he got that power up, they were just completely powerless against him. Let's move on to his one head sculpt with the grinning face on it. Let's zoom in on that too. Looks pretty good. This actually is a much better face sculpt than the one we got with the original Green Ranger. I think it's just better looking. This is just a case of, you know, Super 7 doing a much better job and just kind of doing more of their homework and just getting better at doing their designs. Looks pretty good there with the stoic look on his face, and of course the corruption here on both sides of his jawline, which looks really good. This is a much better representation of Tommy, albeit if he was evil in this timeline. Here's the Morpher. Really hard to see. Paint's a little smudgy, a little bit messed up. They kind of missed some of it in here, so you can't really see it. But if you look hard enough, you can definitely tell that that's supposed to be the Lord Drakkon Ranger coin, or the Power coin. And of course, it says Power Rangers on the top and bottom. I believe you can also pose him with it in his hand too, so if you wanted to. I personally won't. Now Saba, I did not expect this. I pulled it out of the package and I'm like, oh snap, he actually did destroy Saba. Like, it's like he just ripped the whole head off of it. Because, you know, Saba was kind of the, I would say, he was the comedic side of it, of the White Ranger, but also he was kind of a leading factor in helping Tommy get a grip of his new power when he became the White Ranger. So that's pretty cool. The gold on it is slightly different from with the original White Ranger. It seems like a little bit lighter, but I just thought that was a really neat detail. I did not know that when I first got this figure because, again, I don't know a whole lot about the character himself. I just know that he's evil, and he's done a lot of evil things. So, but yeah, looks really cool. I really think that came out really nice. And of course, last but not least, you've got the Dragon Dagger, which doesn't look any different from the original Green Rangers. It's just painted really nicely. Mine looks pretty good overall for something so small. And it looks larger than what it really is on camera because I've zoomed in. But yeah, all the paint's there. Gold, green, black. It looks great. Silver or chrome, I guess you could say, around the dagger itself. But he also comes with hands that you can pose with so that he can, looks like he's calling the Dragon Zord as well. And yeah, he looks great. I really think this guy came out awesome. He looks and feels a lot better quality than the original run of the Super 7 Ultimates figures. And yeah, if you guys are looking for this, he's still pretty available. I found him on Amazon. I can leave a link down below if you guys want to check him out if you don't have him yet. If you just want another evil Ranger in your collection. I do believe they also did the Ranger Slayer, which of course was the brainwashed Kimberly that he basically used as like an assassin, which, you know, pretty cool, I guess. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about these other characters that, you know, destroy the Morphin Grid and take over for Tommy and all that stuff like that. But I believe that they also did a figure of her as well. So this guy definitely is way better than the originals. I recommend it to add to your Ranger collection. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you have not, please hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of Lord Drakkon, whether it's the figure or the character himself. I enjoy it. I think it looks great. He looks really awesome on the shelf. He's got a really nice presence overall. And if you want someone to beat up the Power Rangers that's not just an evil villain from Rita or, you know, let's say the Green Ranger himself, then definitely check out Lord Drakkon. He's awesome. Looks good. Evil presence. 2 thumbs up. I recommend it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I've got other videos coming and a whole bunch of other videos. Actually, at this point, 100 other videos on the channel you guys can check out. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for watching. I am Mr. Blast, and I will check you all out on the next video. Later.